Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How you guys doing? Good to see you guys on this Friday evening. Finished off work, so I thought, let's do this match preview. It's been a couple of days. It's been 3 or 4 days since I've seen you guys since the Juventus match, and I got a few more things to talk about regarding the Juventus match. So I'll get into all of that. Let me see who is in the house. Kept delaying the stream, so apologies if you've been waiting around. Let me see who is in the house. Future Hendrix, channel member, of course. As a hashtag Team Tuku member, I think I'm ready to call him a flop. Jeez. Hey man, I can't blame you. He's a flop until now. You guys know I'm Team Tuku as well, but I'm very objective as well. Even if I like a player or I'm running an agenda for a player, Tuku has been a flop until now. But he has these remaining 8 games of this season to turn it around. Like if he plays a big part in these upcoming games, he can turn it around. And of course, this flop isn't even due to his performances. I would say it's just the injuries. But let's see what he can do. And of course, we'll talk about what he can do in this match tomorrow. Marcello says he's got a feeling Tuchel will score. Let's see. Nicola in the house as well. Ahmad Hakan FC feasting 2 games in a row. Maybe. Let's see. Mattia in the house as well. My guy Ivar in the house as well. Gang in this beer. Sanjar as well. How you doing, bro? Matteo. Ciao. King Darian. Sharma is live. Yeah, we live, baby. Gianluca says Tuchel brace incoming. Hey, that's how he introduced himself to the Inter world. Let's not forget his first debut match for Inter, coming on as a sub against Hellas Verona. Saved our ass that match, pretty much. That match looked like it was going to be very sticky, and 2 goals. I'll be willing to pay good money to just this for someone. If someone can guarantee me that, I would pay you good money. Eduardito in the house as always. Ricardito as well in the house. Franco in the house as well. Denzel Dumfries in the house. Marvel Lawson, what's up, brother? Eduardo says it's going to be Tuku's trial by fire. I think it is, man. Everyone's got like their binoculars out tomorrow. Everyone's got their magnifying glass when it comes to Tuku tomorrow. Everyone's gonna watch every little movement of this of his. Oh man, he's gonna have the whole stadium, the whole of San Siro as well is gonna be definitely on his back. Let's go, Kuro Black. Let's get this win, Marcello. Exactly, Nicola. Ciao, Denzel. Yeah. Ade. Hi, what's up, bro? Guys can get a nice, comfortable win, please. Yeah, we've missed a comfortable win since Salernitana. Really, they didn't have Tudor last time we played them, right? Yeah, I think they still had Di Francesco, the disastrous Di Francesco at the beginning of the season. You're right. Been a shadow watcher for a while. Love the content. Candrevino. Hey, are you a big Candreva fan? Welcome to the channel. Eduardo says he's also done with Lautaro. I don't care how much he earns. He needs to be benched more. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about Lautaro as well, actually, the Juventus match. And yeah, guys, before we get started, make sure you're leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. So yeah, quickly on the Juventus match before we talk about the Hellas Verona match. Apologies if you can't see that screen properly. These are the athletic stats from the Juventus match, and again, Inter, the players are not in great physical condition, but at the same time, every match we're outrunning the opposition, and this could be a record in terms of kilometers covered. The last match, I can't remember. It was Sassuolo. The Sassuolo match we lost was very similar numbers. I might have to double check, but 118 kilometers covered by Inter against Juventus, and Juventus only 112. Like, this team still is, physically one of the best teams. It's not, the best like it was on the Pintus, but to be fair, this season Lazio and Empoli have put in up really good numbers. But as I always say to you guys, the moment you see Inter being outrun by the opposition, that's when you know that Inzaghi maybe has lost a dressing room, or maybe there's something not quite right. Every time I've been checking, Inter always, apart from the Genoa match is the only match this season I can remember that we've been very considerably outran. And yeah, this Genoa team under Blessing, that's what they do. They're just a machine. So that's it's a good sign. But again, I still feel like we're missing a little bit of juice in our legs. You saw, like, you know, the way Barella was getting out muscled by Rabiot. Like, I haven't seen Barella being, muscled and like shoved to the side like that probably like ever since, obviously he's on the lighter side, but he makes his little weight count. And I haven't seen him being bullied around like that. And it always felt like we were second to the second, the second balls, the 50-50s. Like, it just felt like, even though those stats show that Inter ran a lot and a lot more than Juve, it didn't feel like it on the pitch. But as I always say, I think it's a good sign. Barella was the one that ran the most. That you see it right at the top, on the top right hand side, 13.071 kilometers. A lot of effort expended. D'Ambrosio after him, Perisic after him, Dzeko after him. This guy's gonna turn into dust by the end of the season, literally, guys. This guy is gonna. I think this season at Inter for Edin Dzeko has shortened his career. Like, maybe he was planning to play until like 40 years of age, doing like a Zlatan or something. But I think this season at Inter's just like shortened his career, because his body cannot handle what Inzaghi's making him do this season. And then Brozovic is fifth there, coming back, and he didn't even complete the match, and he was in the top 5. So it just shows how much Brozovic run. But he was he was knackered by the end of it. But by the time he was substituted. Now Lautaro. Oh my goodness. 8 touches, guys. Lautaro had 8 touches, and he was on the pitch for 59 minutes. Do you know how bad that is? That is woeful. That is really, really bad. I mean, Gosens, who came on as a substitute, I can't read. I think it's like 2 or 3 touches, and then after that, Vidal, who was a substitute, had 13. Correa, who was a substitute, had 19. Gagliardini and Darmian, substitutes, had more touches than him, and those are the touches in the blue. Like, 8 touches in 59 minutes. That basically, you didn't play. That's pretty much like you just weren't part of the game. You were. That is literally ghosting a game. Apart from the fouls, this guy, I think he had 4 out of the 8 touches he had. He lost the ball 4 times, and then of course he had the fouls where he almost got sent off. And I mean, he was quite lucky that he didn't get sent off. And these touches, on the other hand, are compared to Vlahovic. We made fun of Vlahovic. We said Skriniar pocketed him and all that kind of stuff, which Skriniar really did well against him. But at the same time, when a guy has as many shots and touches as Vlahovic did, I wouldn't really, looking back on it, I wouldn't necessarily class it as being pocketed. But I think he managed him quite well, Skriniar. But he still managed to be quite a threat, Vlahovic. And that's the thing with Lautaro. We're so frustrated with Lautaro, and as Eduardo was saying, he's done with Lautaro. These are the things that you can blame in Dzeko. I know people are going to say, "Oh, it's Dzeko's fault. He's the one who takes the spotlight from him, or he takes the balls away from him." You can blame Inzaghi's tactics, but guys, 8 touches in 59 minutes. That's not tactics. That's not Inzaghi. That's not Dzeko. This is on Lautaro, and he had this time. He had COVID, so it meant that he was, he stayed at in Milan. He didn't travel to Argentina with the national team, but he was, from what I understand, he wasn't like down with COVID. He was asymptomatic. He had to kind of isolate for a bit. So Lautaro should have been, ready, raring to go. Like, he should have been nice, rested, had a whole week of training after coming back to training after COVID with the team, with Inzaghi, with Dzeko, to build that partnership that we just know just makes our eyes bleed. This is just not good enough from Lautaro. Like that. That's just not good enough, man. And this is really disappointing me this season, because I always marked him as a kind of big match player because of the way he plays. He always, in his first couple of seasons, he always used to come out especially in the big matches, and then we were like in the smaller matches, like, oh, what's happening to you? But in the big matches, you used to step up. But now it's like, okay, hat-trick against Salernitana, nice. You're bullying Salernitana. Some people on Twitter calling him Salernitana, man. Where are you in the big matches, bro? We need you in the big matches. So, I am a Lautaro fan, and it hurts to say this, but we need more from him. With Dzeko, we know Dzeko also wasn't that good at all. But with Dzeko, he always manages still to get involved, even if he's playing bad. Like, I can never fault him, moving. Yes, he shouldn't be on the wings trying to take players on. Like, that's just hilarious when he's trying to, be a winger and be an attacking midfielder, center midfielder, is all over the place. But he's always trying to create. With Lautaro, we always know he's going to press, he's going to run a lot, but he needs to be smarter. He needs to do more with the ball. He needs to try, and create things. We need the quality of Lautaro. We don't just need a runner. So I hope he turns it around. Like, if Lautaro can return to some kind of form to the end of the season, he can lead us to a late Scudetto charge for sure. But yeah, that was just a quick, not a rant on Lautaro, but just outlining how bad the Lautaro performance was. And yeah, Ivar, I agree. It should be, we've talked about this a lot. It shouldn't be Dzeko that's coming deeper, but at the same time, we saw he does try it. There's a lot of moments where Lautaro is deeper than Dzeko. They do swap around a lot, the roles in between a match, but it just seems that when he tries to do it, it doesn't really come off for Lautaro, when it should be. Like, Lautaro should be the second striker. He is a second striker. That's what we've seen under Conte for 2 seasons. That's where he thrived, as a second striker. So it is really confusing. And yeah, at least now, as Mighty Mo says, luckily there's no Dzeko Lautaro for this match. Like, his hand is forced, but at least we're not gonna get to see it. To get the best out of Lautaro, you need to bring back Lukaku. Yeah, to a certain extent, I'm sure they have a good partnership and understanding, as we know, great partnership and understanding. But if that was under the Conte tactics, there was a different Lukaku. But it definitely would be. There's no denying that it would be better than what it is right now with Dzeko. Juve fans kept moaning that Lautaro should have been sent off. Turns out he was sent off, but we didn't notice. Ahmad always coming in with the one-liners. That is true. The thing is, he didn't even do his signature pressing, so we couldn't even defend him. That was his worst performance in the Inter shirt. I don't know if it was the worst, but it was definitely the most non-existent, like the most ghostly. He might have had worse performances in terms of, remember when Conte subbed him off pretty early on after bringing him on, and they had that argument. That might have been, bad, but it's yeah, Mo is definitely on Interworldwide eating with his anti-Lautaro agenda for sure. I agree with Mo most of the time, no pun intended. Yeah, no, Mo usually speaks a lot of sense. And then yeah, like, if you guys follow me on Twitter as well, I was making fun of Lautaro. Actually, let me ask for the people that don't comment on this if you follow me on Twitter, because you guys already know the answer. Where do you think the ball ended up here, guys? Where did Lautaro shoot? So you got 4 options there: black, yellow, red, or blue. Let me know in the comments below, where do you think that ended up? Because that was the only. It wasn't even a good moment for Lautaro. It was just a potentially good moment for Lautaro. Oh, useless. Let's see what you guys are saying. Marcello, he says black. Yeah, a couple of people have got it right. Denzel Dumfries. I mean, obviously, Denzel, you were right there, so you know that it was yellow. Yeah, so it was yellow. Yeah, yellow. No King Dorian, it was yellow. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised. That's the thing with Lautaro, his form right now. You wouldn't even be surprised that it's that is the black one, but no, it's not. It's the yellow, guys. He actually just like air shotted it. Unlucky Nicola, unlucky Franco. Is yellow. As Matthias says, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. But he's just in some. I don't really understand Lautaro's form, man. I really just don't understand. I just hope he can turn it around. And now, wait, shall I? Yeah, let's move on to Correa, because everyone's been, we already, all the first comments were all about Correa. Of course, it's Tuku time. But one thing I don't understand with people is like, I was seeing Correa was getting criticism in this match. He had half an hour to make an impact, and he did. And I'm not saying this like, again, I'm objective when it comes to players. If he didn't do anything, then I would have criticized Correa, but he did. Like, how many players this moment here? This is Juve's throw-in, and he manages. How many players have you ever seen to muscle and Delict like that? Like, he just literally shoved Delict out of the way, got the ball, stole it off him, and created one of the best chances the Inter had. We didn't have many chances, and he created this chance that he passed to Barella, who then passed to Vidal, who messed the move up completely there. But yeah, like that was a really good chance that he created. Like, so that was one already, and then he created this one, the one where this is the one where Dzeko tries to take Delict 1v1 on. I mean, he had no option there, but at least he tried, unlike someone. But yeah, here he comes in, he receives it, comes deep, receives it, and does a really good through ball into Dzeko, who's 1v1 against Delict. And then the one chance where you can criticize Correa afterwards, but again, he did well to get into that position, is where Darmian fizzes it into him, and then he has a shot. He needs to get this on target. He has to get this on target, and he completely miscues it. But there you can definitely criticize him for, that was an awful finish. But again, that's like three good moments that he managed to create in the space of half an hour. Whereas Lautaro in 59 minutes and 8 touches, nothing, absolutely nothing apart from that air shot. So, when I really don't understand what people were criticizing Correa for. And I think off that performance, I think even if Lautaro wasn't suspended for this match, off this half an hour, I would have said we're saying to start someone apart from Dzeko Lautaro anyway. But I think he showed in this match that he deserves to be given minutes now. So it looks like he is favourite to start. So let's see if he actually does. But I just wanted to point out those moments. Those moments from Correa. Yeah, exactly, Eduardo. I think he played better than Lautaro, which is not hard to do, to be honest. I think Eduardo, you, Ricardo, Mattia, Marcello, any of you guys in the chat right now, I think you could have done better than Lautaro in that match, because 8 touches. First, I think you would have definitely got more than 8 touches, first of all, because I know you guys at least would have ran your heart out, or just like tried to get the ball in some areas. So he shouldn't get praise for being better than Lautaro, because anyone could have been better than Lautaro in that match. But he was actually decent, and he was the one who created Inter's most threatening moments in that second half. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a team effort to beat Hellas. Yeah, of course. Hellas is not a good, is not an easy team to play at all, especially since Igor Tudor's come in the cut. What I missed, not much, Tommy. We were slandering Lautaro for a little bit, and we just talked about Correa there, and we're gonna get into the match preview. Candravino says the Correa slander online is unfair. He's the only striker that we have that can run with the ball and take on players. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand the slander is I understand it when it's like, we were broke and we spent 31 million on this guy who can barely stay fit. By the end of the day, it's like, it's not his fault that he's unfit. Like, it's like, with Sensi, he's like, what are you gonna slander? Like, yeah, he's made of glass. But it's not really his fault. If you want to criticize on performances, then we can talk about that. And I think at the beginning of the season, there were moments where you were like, he's inconsistent. We've known that his whole career. Like, when we signed this guy, I said, this guy he's never hit double figures in his life, goals, or assists as well, like goals and assists. I don't think he's hit like double figures. So that's the player that we bought, and he always had been that. And then on top of that, you add more injuries than he's ever had before. So in that sense, I understand all the slander, and he probably deserves it. But at the same time, it's like, I think he should be judged when he has an extended time period in the team. And objectively speaking, guys, when Inter were in the best form, I know I've said this before, but if you haven't heard me say this before, November, December, that was where Inter were playing their best football. And who was starting most of those matches up front then? It was Correa. Correa was playing a lot with Lautaro, the Napoli match, the Roma match when he got injured with Dzeko. He was starting to put some regular minutes in his legs, and his ability to drop a little bit deeper, connect the midfield and the strikers really helped. The Inter smoothness, like that was when we were playing peak limoncello ball. So now if he's going to stay injury free through the end of the season, now you can, if he doesn't perform, definitely slander him all you want. Rather criticize Caicedo again. With Caicedo, I can't even. I mean, we can definitely criticize the reason to get him in the first place, the decision to get him in the first place. But how can we slander the guy when he doesn't even get minutes? By the same time, the physical condition of the guy looks booky. Looks like this guy just looks like an actual like uncle. So yeah, again, but when we signed him as well, like 800k, that's what we're paying his wages. That's it, dry loan, low risk, low reward, I guess. So it is what it is. But it's just crazy that he actually has more minutes on Inter's YouTube channel than in real life. Because the other day, Inter released a video, the careers videos that Inter does, talking to players. That was like a 10 minute video of Caicedo talking about his career. And then I think on the pitch, he has a combined like 6 or 7 minutes. So he's actually got more minutes on Inter's YouTube than on the pitch, which is hilarious. Yeah, so we'll see. I said I would have been surprised that if I can't remember how many games I said. I said I'll be surprised if Caicedo even starts more than 3 or 4 games. I don't think he's even going to end up starting 1 game at all. So yeah, Ali, I don't think we're going to see Correa Caicedo. Although that's a strike duo that was playing last season, not like 2 or 3 years ago. Last season, it was playing under Inzaghi at Lazio. Those 2 guys, when Immobile wasn't there, these 2 guys would step in. So theoretically, these guys should have a connection already. But I don't think that's the answer. I don't think Caicedo I don't know what he's like physically right now, but if it's the guy that I saw 2 or 3 weeks ago against Genoa, then that guy is not ready to start. Yeah, let me get back into the analysis. Yeah, so we can start looking at the predicted lineups for tomorrow. 3-5-2 as always. You guys know the deal. Stefan de Vrij coming back from his injury finally. Good to see him back. I think Skriniar has done an admirable role stepping in, and it should. I've said to you guys, like I've been saying it for a few years, I think that is the long-term place for Skriniar. I think Skriniar is going to be even better as a center of the 3 defender, as he's been showing. But De Vrij, I know he's not had the greatest season, guys, but that is still our best back 3, I think. But D'Ambrosio did really well against Juventus as well, so shouts out to D'Ambro. Yeah, it's good to actually see not Dzeko and Lautaro up front. So it looks like Correa is starting, Dumfries, Perisic on the wings. Usual business. Although today I did see someone tweeting, Pasquale Guarro, who is like a Inter-journalist for Calciomercato, I think he is. He tweeted that Di Marco could potentially be starting. So I don't know if that's for Bastoni or that's for Perisic. I guess it's more likely to be Bastoni. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I think it's time to start giving Gosens. I think Gosens still hasn't started a game. I think it should be about time to start giving Gosens some extended playing time. But I guess now, the thing is now we're going to have more rest between games as well. Apart from when we play Coppa Italia soon against Milan, I think Inzaghi is probably. I mean, he's doing it anyway, but he's going to stick to pretty much his guns, isn't he? Little rotation because he's got more rest between matches. With Verona, not much to really talk about. They have Anthony Barak starting Sky Sport in their lineup, but he missed the last match and he is still a doubt for this match. So it could be Kevin Lasagna stepping in there. But Barak if he's not starting, then that's a big miss for them. I really like Anthony Barak. Really good player. the whole front three actually has been really good this season. Not just Giovanni Simeone, who, is one of the top 5 scorers in the league, and he actually has the best record. Simeone, he has the best goal scoring record against the top 7 teams in Serie A this season, better than Vlahovic, better than Tammy Abraham, better than Osimhen, better than Giroud, better than Dzeko. So yeah, he's kind of been he's been stepping up in the big games, Giovanni Simeone. Although it was kind of, a lot of it was in like a little period where he kind of just exploded, where he scored, I think he scored those 4 goals against Lazio, I think, wasn't it, in one match, which was absolutely crazy. And he scored against Juventus one. So it's kind of, not misleading, because obviously he still scored those goals, but he hasn't been scoring like a goal every time he plays against a big team. It's kind of a bit of a skewed stat. But of course, yeah, the form that he's in this season, he's definitely one to be watched. And Caprari as well has been really good, and I'm surprised that he hasn't been called up to the Italian national team, to be honest. He is that kind of, I think he should be starting ahead of, him or Zaccagni should be starting ahead of Insigne, to be honest, because they're kind of those wingers that can cut in, take on a player, got a good shot on them, goals and assists. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch out for, Caprari. Former Inter player as well, by the way. He never actually played for us, but he became part of the deal that brought Skriniar to us. So we always have to appreciate Caprari for bringing Skriniar to us. Tameze, yeah, he's another one to watch out for. Nice shout out there for Seeker of Truth. He's been good this season, getting into the box with late runs and scoring some decent goals. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch out for. Ivan Ilic was good against us in the first game, if you guys remember, when he scored against us in the first game after that Handanovic mistake. So yeah, it's a difficult team to play against. They and this is the type of teams that we struggle against. The high pressing teams like Hellas Verona, there. So even Juric was there, and even Juric is from the Gasperini school of pressing. And Tudor was very clever in terms of, he just came and used the blueprint that Juric left for him, this man-to-man oriented pressing, and this gives us trouble this season. So similarly to Torino, I think it's going to be a tough match for us this match. We struggle against these high pressing teams under Inzaghi, because we don't have those memorized patterns of play that can get us out of trouble if they press us. But yeah, that back line should be susceptible to conceding a few goals, although they do quite well defensively. But if you can isolate these guys, you can definitely cause some trouble. Yeah, let me see what your comments are. What do I think? Verona is good, but Pax San Siro will win 2-0. Yeah, Pax San Siro once again, guys. Just like it was against Fiorentina. I mean, obviously, it's a really good thing that the fans are getting behind, but I feel like a lot of these guys sometimes succumb to the pressure of having this full stadium. But surely now, after the Juventus win, surely, please do not ruin the momentum built by that Juventus win. It would be a very Inter thing to do, but come on, guys. You got 60,000 people, coming out to support you, to push us to this Scudetto run. Don't let them down. Get this win. Whatever happens, you have to beat this Verona team as well. They're doing well in Serie A, but like, they've got really nothing to play for now. Where are they? They are 9th in the table. So they're the best team. We've got a strong top 8 this season in Italy, finishing with Atalanta and Fiorentina 7th and 8th, and then we've got a 5-point gap to Verona. It's them and Sassuolo, really, because then there's another 5-point gap to Torino. So it really is like a divide between top 8, the 9th and 10th, and then the other 10. So Verona don't really have too much to play for. So these are the type of teams that you should be okay with at this stage of the season, because what are they really fighting for? But at the same time, they don't have anything to play for, which means they play kind of mind, free, just kind of no pressure. Whereas San Siro, what happens. Everything is a bonus to them, especially a draw. They'll take a draw very happily. So it's a good thing to play these teams, but at the same time they can be a bit of a trap, these teams, for sure. Or no, Inzaghi expects a real Inter performance against Verona. Yeah, I don't know what he means by that. If you mean real Inter, does he mean Pazza Inter, or he means the Inter that we saw from October, November, December time? I hope he means that. The Bologna game is midweek as well, so that's a pain. Oh yeah, that's true. So we've got those couple of weeks where we're gonna have to play midweek games, but I still think Inzaghi's not gonna rotate anything. Mighty Mouse says 2-1 win, can't afford to drop any more points. Yeah, no, you can't drop any more points. You can't drop any more points now. Mihailovic already does us favor. Hopefully he does the same again. Yeah, I mean, it's the players now. The players are fighting for Mihailovic. Mihailovic isn't really doing much from his hospital bed now, unfortunately, the poor guy. But those players are going to be fighting hard for Mihailovic to the end of the season. The criticism is fair. He's been so underwhelming considering his price. I'm guessing you're referring to Correa. Yeah, as I said, it is definitely fair. But, in terms of what can he actually do about being injured, it's not really his fault. This title race is going down to the wire for sure. It's going to be until, it could be an Aguero, Man City QPR type of moment. Like, it really could be down to the last minute of the season. This season is going to be crazy. Thoughts on Lautaro sell this summer? Yeah, I mean, if you've been following this channel, someone comes for 70 million, euros or pounds, like, I think you'd have to take that option. And then the problem is, though, guys, how much of that is going to be reinvested? And I keep saying that, like, it's fine doing that, but from what I've been reading, and you guys know on this channel, I never sell you guys a dream, and I always, probably sound like a negative Nancy most of the time, but I really think it's going to be another hard summer in terms of we're going to have to sell before we buy, and we're not going to be selling for 100 and buying for 100. I think it's going to be another summer of selling for 100 and then buying for 50, 60, and then still trying to reduce the salary, wages, and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be another difficult summer for us as Interisti. It would be such a Pazza Inter moment if we lost points here after winning Turin. Exactly. Like, I can already see my thumbnail. Like, if we drop points, if it's like a 1-1 or we even lose, God forbid. But I can already see my thumbnail title is going to be like typical, or something like that. Gonna put a Hondo on Inter to win to do the domestic trouble. Hey man, Tommy. Yeah. I'm not a financial advisor, but I wouldn't advise you to do that. But I think but the thing is, with Inter, since the Juventus win, I think the odds have gone down again. So I don't think you'd even make too much money out of that, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if Inter lose to Verona after being Juventus. Yeah, this is true Interismo, knowing that this is what could happen after doing, almost the impossible, going away to Juventus and winning. Mohammed says, I hate mid-table Italian teams so much. They only exist to ruin our weeks. That's it. Hey, man, what else are they supposed to do? They have to play. They're not just there to, for us to walk over them. That's why you're here, because I don't sell dreams. 3P already coming. You're the one who's selling dreams, Tommy. Ben says every game is going to be stressful. This team plays up or down to their opponent's level. Yeah, at the moment we're playing down to every opponent. I mean, even the Juventus game, it was not good, was it? I don't even know how we won that game. We got smacked around. So at the moment, this team is just not playing good at all, regardless of, apparently, apart from Salernitana. And I said this when we beat them 5-0. I was like, guys, don't even consider this game. So it's really is what Inter team is going to turn up tomorrow. But I hope this Juventus win, as I said, brings... I think the mental side is really important recently, because we've been really... Mentally, these players looks like they're really down in the gutters. And I was actually watching a live stream yesterday to this Italian channel called Vate Nerazzurro. They had Ernesto Paolillo on. So if you guys remember him, he was this... What was he? He wasn't the sporting director. He was like the CEO. I think he was like the Antonello figure, so like kind of looking after the financial side of things for Inter a few years ago, like just before the Zhang and the Co came in, like the Tohir times. and he talked about that. I guess he still has some sources inside the club, and he said that like he feels is primarily a mental lapse of just a mental lack of fortitude over the last few months. And of course, and he also talked about that there's some tension in the dressing room. So he's talking about the the Argentinian and like the Balkan group again having some friction. Back in the Icardi days, that was what they used to talk about. They even used to talk about that back in the even when Inter were really good, in the Tripleta days, that there used to be a bit of a divide between the Argentinians and the rest of the team, because there was a very strong Argentinian contingent. And he was talking about it again yesterday, talking about the Croatians, the Balkans kind of, and the Argentina or the South American divide in the dressing room potentially still being there. And he talked about Lautaro and Inzaghi having a very good relationship. Again, I don't know how much he actually knows and how good his source really is within the club now, because obviously he doesn't work for Inter anymore, but I'm sure he has some connections inside. But yeah, he mentioned that Lautaro's not being too happy with all the substitutions from Inzaghi, and their relationship isn't 100%. So going back to that question about selling Lautaro, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised even Lautaro's always seemed like he wanted to stay at Inter, apart from when the Barcelona rumors piped up a while back. But if he hasn't got a great relationship with Inzaghi, he could be happy to make the move as well, maybe. But honestly, I don't know what he really has too much to complain about with Inzaghi. I remember the Inter game. I went to Inter Udinese. Oh my god, I'm sorry that you had to watch that. So Matmanovic moaning about his critics after the Juve game. Yeah, I mean, you know how he is, dogs barking or whatever he likes to call people, his critics. He's still starting for Inter, so he has to show some cojones. But to be fair, he's right. That was a really good save on Zakaria that kept us in the game. So fair play where he's due. But at the same time, it looked in the first half, it looked like he was playing against us. Have to watch out for Napoli as well. They have an easy-ish schedule as well. Yeah, I mean, I think as I said, I think that right now for me, Napoli is the favorite, because after winning against Atalanta without Rahmani and without Osimhen, like, that's a massive statement. So for me right now, I'm putting Napoli as slight favorites to me, because I feel like that was a massive, just like we beat Juventus and it was massive. But Napoli already being ahead, with Osimhen coming back and Rahmani coming back, I feel like that's going to be a massive push for them. So yeah, definitely don't discount Napoli out of this for sure. As I said, for me, I will put them just like slight favorites now. Yeah, we need an early goal, man. We need an early goal. Like, we don't score goals really early this season, but we really need that. Like, within the first 5 minutes, let's just kill that match off. We need to play Allegri's ugly football from here to the end of the season. Limone ball can wait till next year. Yeah, I mean, we're not playing any type of ball at the moment, bro. Like, these guys are playing ugly ball but not winning. So, in these last few weeks, if we were winning, it would be ugly wins. Like, if we won against Fiorentina, that would have been an ugly win. It's just that we've been playing ugly, but not really getting the result from it. Against Juve, we played really badly. I wouldn't even say ugly. We just played really badly, and we got the win. So they just need to convert the chances, and we finally overperformed our XG. We didn't have that many chances in that match, but we scored the one real chance we had. So that's what we need to do from now to the end of the season. That's the difference. It's not like the style of play, in my opinion, is just taking away the chances, scoring your chances. Exactly. I knew this was going to cause a bit of ruckus, hearing that Lautaro's not happy with Inzaghi. Can we sell Zhang instead of Lautaro? Hey, man, have you seen the guy just bought 3 million McLaren the last couple of weeks? So the guy is telling Inter to stop spending money, but himself, he's balling out. Exactly, Eduardo. If you play, nobody would take him out. When he misses so many chances, how can he complain about being a sub? Yeah, exactly. And Gunter was just a sub him out as well. I keep saying this. I know people make a big point of it this season that he keeps getting subbed out, but Conte used to do that as well around the 70th minute. So there must be a reason that maybe they feel he gasses out really quickly. I don't have any confidence in the current team. I can't see Handanovic, Hakan, Lautaro driving us to Scudetto. Yeah, I still don't have much confidence in this team. As I said, even if we have beaten Juventus, and I do believe now, but they have to show me, like, some consistency now. Because as much as we want to criticize Inzaghi, a lot of blame goes down to these players, because these guys were supposed to have now the winning mentality. They should be able to do it without being, remote controlled by someone like Conte telling them exactly what to do, where to be, do this, do that. Like, these guys should know now, but clearly it turns out that these guys need to be, bubble wrapped, and they need someone to be shouting at them and telling them exactly what to do. Like, they just need to kick up the arse all the time. It seems like the Mr. Nice Guy actor doesn't work with these guys, so they deserve a lot of criticism, a lot of these guys, and that's why I'm lacking some faith in these guys. But if we beat Verona, that faith to me comes back straight back. I remember we had, I think, over Napoli. So if Napoli is the title favorite, we just need to win every week. Yeah, but that's the thing, bro. It's like it sounds easy to say we need to just win. We have to win every game, but the form that we've been in the mid-table form the last 2 months. That's so how are we going to win every game? If we win our game in hand, are we ahead of Napoli? Yeah, we're ahead of Napoli because we have the head-to-head over Napoli, but we don't have it over Milan. Napoli still got Roma, Sassuolo, Torino away. Yeah, I think actually Napoli, they have the hardest schedule still. I mean, they just beat Atalanta, but they still have some tough games. There's Milan have got Atalanta as well. They've got Fiorentina as well. They've got Torino next. So yeah, no one's got a really easy fixture. Inter technically have the easiest fixtures. I expected after Supercoppa. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what I mean. Like, these guys should have been like almost on autopilot mode. In terms of, now they know what to do, what they need to do to win and things like that. But it almost seemed like that Super Cup win almost kind of, gave them maybe some arrogance, like they thought they could just walk this league again. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. And yeah, we definitely need Bremer to drop a masterclass versus Milan like he did against us, because he scored and dropped a masterclass against us. So, he needs to do at least one of those things. Bremer will easily pocket Osimhen. Milan will drop against Torino. I'm just counting it already. Let's see, man. Let's see. I'd rather just focus on ourselves and get the results that we need to get and put the pressure on the other teams rather than looking at what the other teams are doing. We got the head-to-head, but I'm just saying, to me, that win without us, that's like us winning without Skriniar in the team, like the Rahmani, like a Skriniar, and without, actually, can we? I don't even know if us missing Dzeko and Lautaro is that bad, but missing key players, winning without missing two of our most key players, like that's a massive statement away at Atalanta. This might sound weird, Uncle, but do you think this team suited up for cup titles more than league because of how good Inzaghi normally is in good knockout tournaments? I don't know, man. I don't know about these types of things. Like, people get, grouped into these things. Like, he's a cup manager, he's a league manager. I don't know. Maybe. But it's the same team as last year, apart from a few players. I don't know why this team would be more a cup team than a still the pretty much 90% of the team is still the same as last year. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, with Inzaghi, he's good at maybe just doing one-off matches, whereas with Conte, he's good at planning, with 7 days in between. He's good at planning a dominating campaign. Maybe you're right. Maybe Inzaghi is more of a cup coach because he was good at Lazio in cups as well. But I think we need a bit more time to have an answer on that. Razor for Orion, what's up? Bremer dropped a masterclass against Juve too. Oh yeah, that was probably the best centre-back performance I've seen in Serie A this season. Like, that was pocketing, because literally Vlahovic didn't do nothing that much. Like, as was, if you missed the start of the stream, I was talking about how, we made fun of Vlahovic in that match and we said Skriniar pocketed him, but at the end of the day, Vlahovic still had 5-6 shots and he still, managed to link up, create things, had a lot of touches. that match against Torino, Vlahovic didn't do jack shit. Like literally, he got eaten up by Bremer. If you have a chance, who will you get on loan from Spurs, and Ndombele or Lo Celso or whatever? And Ndombele, yeah, I've always said Ndombele is the type of midfielder that this team lacks: a ball carrying centre midfielder, dribbling, through balls, physicality. Is someone that no one in our midfield, something that no one in our midfield can offer. So definitely Ndombele, definitely. I don't see a scoring match again. Hopefully, yeah. I think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tight game for sure, Mattia. Let's be honest, Atalanta ain't all that anymore. Yeah, I know, but we struggled. We did 0-0 against them away, and then 2-2 was it against them at home. So we struggled against them this season. But no, Atalanta have dropped off a lot this season. But we have to remember they've missed their main guy at Zapata this season, and they've had a lot of injury issues. And Ilic is, once again suffering with depression and mental health issues. So they've had a tough season, and I think it's overdue with Atalanta. They shouldn't be top 4 every season. Like these guys, that squad on paper shouldn't be top 4 every season. They've been overachieving, in my opinion, for a long time. So I think it was about time that they drop out of the top 4. But yeah, if they win the Europa League, that's an amazing achievement. Yeah, exactly. Gary Medel, if you've seen it on my channel, I made the quick short about Gary Medel having a little pop at Vlahovic, saying that he didn't do it and nothing against him. Yeah, Vlahovic, last team we scored against, Salernitana. So we make fun of Lautaro, but also Vlahovic is the same. The Audi Pogba, yeah. I mean, of course, he'll need a lot of work done off the field in terms of training, in terms of his weight and getting back into shape and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, let's end on match predictions. I think I'm going to go for, come on, 60k at the San Siro after the Juve win. To Correa, bit more different ideas. I think he's gonna link up better with Dzeko. The Vrij coming back in, I think is gonna be a nervy one. I think it's gonna be another nervy one. I don't think it's gonna be another convincing win, but I think we're gonna get the job done. And I'm gonna go for a 2-1 victory for Inter. White Suburban Kid says 3-1. I like that. That would be amazing. That would be a nice 2-goal cushion win. Would be great. 3-1. Tommy says 2-0 Matteo, 2-1 Tari, 2-1 Sanjar. This says 3-0. Don't see a 3-0 for sure. Denzel says 2-0. I hope so, Denzel. Verona won't make it easy, definitely. Matthias says 1-0, 2-1. Yeah, even Matthias being positive. Look at that. Ben says another Tuku brace. Oh, hey, bro. The gas that you guys will see on this channel if Tuku scores a brace, you guys, you know what's coming to you if Tuku has a masterclass. 2-1. Tuku, Dumfries, Barella. Yeah, Barella, I would love to see a Barella goal. Tuku, Correa high back into 1-0. 2-1. I think we'll score from a set piece. Yeah, I think a set piece goal and a Correa or Dzeko goal I'm going for. So I think either Skriniar, Vrij, or Dumfries scoring from like a set piece or a header, and then Correa coming back and ice cool goal somewhere. Nice goal. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that match preview, guys. Thank you for joining me. I have to go now. It's been 48 minutes talking to you guys. Of course, if you haven't, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you everyone that came in today. I'll see you guys. I won't be on straight after the match tomorrow, guys. So I might do a later reaction because I might miss parts of the match. But yeah, look out for my match reaction. Ciao ragazzi, thank you to everyone that tuned in, and always second star mission continues. Forza Inter.